Right, guys, welcome back. This is by far the most exciting video we might ever release. It is the bargain bucket special. Tom
Oof.
can't wait.
Oof.
He's on my bench.
Look at the excitement on his face.
he can't,
I've
can't
got
wait to
a
get into
long
it.
list. I'm struggling to narrow it down.
So
My
he's on my
God.
bench. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, follow us on Twitter as well. Send us questions. Let us know about what you're doing with your team. We're gonna jump straight into this one. Bargain bucket, goalkeepers. We're gonna do one each. Who have you boys got? Tom?
For me, I'm starting the season with McCarthy at Southampton. I think Southampton were massively improved post-lockdown, especially defensively. The 4.5 million goalkeepers, there's not a lot of them out there. He's a set and forget. Can't really go wrong for me.
He's also in my starting 11. However, I'm going to pick someone different. I think going over the whole season, I think another solid bet is Matt Ryan. Brighton are a relatively solid team. I wouldn't say they keep bags of clean sheets, but they've got Lewis Dunk. Matt Ryan is a great keeper. They've also got Ben White coming back from Leeds, who had a great season in the Championship. So I think Brighton look a stronger outfit than last season, and hence I think Matt Ryan could be your guy for 4.5 mil.
Third. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of rogue in here, just a little bit, spice things up. I am talking about Nyland, the Aston Villa goalkeeper.
Ooh.
He's 4 million.
Mm.
There's a little caveat. There's a little asterisk to his name. He might not play.
Yeah.
But listen, stay the fuck out of my DMs if you get him and it goes terribly. Leave me alone. Right, defenders. Who have you guys got for 4.5 million max?
I think the best value defender at 4.5 million and below, for me at this point in time, he hasn't been sold, is Ruben Vinagre at Wolves. Plays left wing back. I know they've just signed Marcel from Lyon, but I think he's more of a left centre back. I could be wrong, but I think he's more of a left centre back. So I think
in a back
Vinagre is
five.
going to play in a back five. I think he's going to play left centre back, and I think Ruben Vinagre is going to play left wing back.
Yep. So my pick is, I think, the only player who looks to be 4 million and starting, and that is Tyreek Mitchell at Crystal Palace. So he looks to be the starting left back at Crystal Palace. Patrick Van Aanholt is injured, and the other 4 million defender option is Ferguson, who also looks to be injured. So it looks like it's Tyreek Mitchell's time to.
I've actually gone for somebody that over the last couple of seasons was valued at a little bit more, but because of injuries, fallen down. Lascelles, the French centre back for Newcastle. I think as a starting centre back at 4.5 million, he does get goals as well. Tim, I know you've got a few more names, bro. Like we'll let you reel off a few more names. Go
Oh,
on.
absolutely. Lamptey at Brighton.
Yeah.
Again, like focusing on the fullbacks. Who else do we have? So Umar has alluded to Ferguson at Palace, who's injured at the moment. But when he comes back, I think he's got a knee injury at the moment. But when he comes back, the right back slot is his to claim. He's a £4 million player, so he's one to hit on your watch list. Luke Ayling, yeah, absolutely right. On the Newcastle front, you've got Jamal Lewis, who's just signed from Norwich. Don't hold against him what happened to Norwich last year. It wasn't his fault. He could deliver attacking potential. It's not his fault that Norwich defended with 9 men behind the ball. So he could do things. But again, maybe want to watch this because he signed a week before the season begins. But there's a lot of value there. Carl Walker-Peters. Yeah. £4.5 million. I think there's a lot of value. It's only at £4 million where it's a bit ropey. A little bit of spice that I'm quite excited about is Ben Johnson at West Ham, the right back. He's competing with Ryan Fredericks. He got a lot of game time in the last 4 games, I'm going to say.
Yeah, just something else to note there as well. Arsenal, with their centre-back situation, you've got Saliba, you've got Holding. It's a little bit unclear at this moment in the season who's going to start, but they're both 4.5 and they're well worth looking into. Right, midfielders. So here we've broken it down into 2 parts. Now, we know in the last video we said no CDMs, but if you need a player at 4.5 million that will play, we've got you covered. And then we've also gone up to 5.5 million of players that we fancy that will do quite well. Tom, do you want to take over with your 5.5 million pick?
So I've gone for 5.0 million. I'm saving money already. Thomas Soucek, another West Ham player.
Yeah.
Incredible value and impact post-lockdown. Looking at the pool this year, I think it's really hard to actually get a £4.5 million midfielder compared to seasons of old.
Yeah, definitely. Umar, who have you gone with?
Yeah, so the one I've gone for, I guess, could be seen as quite controversial. Is at a team where there are a plethora of options. So that is Liverpool FC, and the player is Naby Keita. The reason I think it's controversial is because he's been in and out of the team over the last couple of years, not really produced since he signed.
I've sort of picked two players. I really fancy Newcastle this season. So one player that I've gone with is, it was super exciting, but I couldn't hit a fucking barn door to save his life. It's Saint Maximin. I don't say Maximin just does sexy shit on the pitch. And you know what? As a lover of football, as somebody that enjoys sexy shit on the pitch, like, that is my guy. I think the most interesting player at 5.5 million is Saka. I think Saka. The issue with Saka is, I don't think Arteta knows where he plays. It's just a case of where does he play and how much does he play. But I think he's by far the most interesting prospect at 5.5. And I think for 4.5 million players that you haven't got much cash left, these are the players that most likely CDMs that you want to get in 2 points week in, week out. We'll rattle these off for you. You've got your Romeu, who's going to get a yellow card, so you'll get 1 point. You've got the Aston Villa CDM, Nakamba.
The wonderfully named marvelous Nakamba.
Bro, I haven't seen him do anything marvelous. You've got Bissouma. You've got Tom's boy Reed, and then you've got
Harrison Reed. Give him his full name.
So,
a fantastic season last season in the Championship.
I think the most interesting player is Gordon for Everton, who's 4.5. Now something disastrous has to happen for him to start, but then again it's Everton. Yeah, so those are our midfielder options, and then strikers is where it gets super tricky. You can't really have a 4.5 million, they're not going to start. You can't have a 5 million, they're not going to start either, let's be honest. The 5.5s, it is not worth having a 5.5. You might as well go up to a 6.
Yeah, it looks like 6 is a minimum for a starter at the moment.
So we've all picked a player at 6 million. Tom, do you want to tell them who you've gone with?
Yeah, so I have gone 6 million. I've gone Eddie Nketiah at Arsenal, which is a little bit controversial because it didn't have a huge point total last season, but you've got to remember he was on loan until January. So if you double his points, you got a decent return.
But I think with Nketiah, if Lacazette does sign a contract, you could see him ushered back into the team very, very quickly. What about yourself, Emma? Who have you gone with?
The person I've gone with, he actually couldn't hit a barn door prior to lockdown, but since lockdown did very well and was as good, if not slightly better than his strike partner, Danny Ings, who had a fantastic season, and that person is Che Adams. So didn't start the season well, got dropped for until pretty much game week 30. Came back strong and got 3-4 goals at the end of last season.
I've gone with somebody opposite. No energy, 0. Doesn't move, doesn't care. You can't even tell him. You can't even tell him to get off the pitch. I have gone with the bad boy of the Championship, Mitrovic. Yeah. And the reason I've gone with Mitrovic is he's now a little bit older. I've seen him play in the Prem when he was younger, and he did okay in a terrible Newcastle team. If they have any hope, it is Mitrovic. He's also the penalty taker.
Yeah, he's been there, done it. He's played there before. He had a great season last season. If anyone's going to get goals for them, it's going to be Alexander Mitrovic. Yeah,
a couple of other players that we've got noted down. Michy Batshuayi. I think he'll be interesting at Palace. They just confirmed his move. We've also got Ollie Watkins, who's just come up from Brentford. I tend to hold off on these signings. You've got Jay Rodriguez, who's very, very interesting, who finished the season so well. And you've got Ayew as well. And I think with Ayew, he's going to get a goal. You just don't know when. Right, guys. Well,
Yeah.
those were our bargain buckets. I know Tom's fuming. He had a few more to give you, but we'll keep them on a low for now. We'll see what week one has to offer.
And if you guys have any bargain buckets that you want to make us aware of, put it down in the comment section. It'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, let us know what you're thinking, what your who your differentials are, and who your bargain buckets are, or your duds. Well, listen, we're just as much players as we are trying to give tips and any advice. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Twitter, get onto us. That's us.
All of that.
All of that.